Good morning and welcome to the Community Briefing. This is the Carroll Lutheran Village segment, and today we're going to be talking with Jeff and Joan McKee, who are residents here at Carroll Lutheran Village and are very active in lots of different activities. So we're going to start off with talking a little bit about how they chose Carroll Lutheran Village, and let's start off. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Jeff and I both served on the board of the Historical Society of Carroll County. Later on, I was interim executive director on 2 occasions. On 9/11, everybody knows where they were. I was starting the Leadership Carroll program, and I was seated next to who was executive director of Human Services Programs. And I ended up getting a job there a couple months later. I was managing their programs like Neighbors in Need Holiday Program, and also my last job was being part of the team that set up the Domestic Violence Safe House here in Carroll County. Brings me to Carroll Lutheran Village, and here we are.
Jeff, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I grew up on the South Shore of Long Island, about 60 miles out from New York City. Came down to the University of Maryland for graduate work, and that's where I met Joan, on the volleyball court.
Okay, that's where it started, because I hear about pickleballs coming too, so go ahead. So tell us a little bit about how you came about coming to Carroll Lutheran Village.
He's gone a lot, so that leaves me time to do things with other people. So I would bring friends over to different communities throughout the county when they decide that they might move into a continuing care retirement community. So this place has been on my radar since we moved to Carroll County. We also researched it for when my parents were ready to move, and then when his parents needed to move. We weren't successful in getting them here. My parents did move out to Western Maryland. Plus, 8 years before COVID, I volunteered with the Seymour Blind Support Group. It was through the Freedom District Lions Club that the volunteers would provide transportation services. So I had a full load of people and a seeing eye dog in my vehicle to go to these meetings, and I was kind of amazed. How do you do all this? It was a really rewarding time to volunteer with that group. But so it's just been around, and we visited other places. So Carroll Lutheran has kind of been there. We knew it was there, and we like Carroll County so much. It just made it a big difference.
Right. Living in the area, you're obviously, like you said, familiar with it. It wasn't a lot to find out. You knew all about it.
Right. And it had a good reputation. Mm-hmm. So we decided that for our purposes, we would come here, even though neither one of our parents had. But that experience dealing with our parents and getting them situated in a continuing care community led us to start thinking about it sooner than we would have, and actually moving in sooner than we would have, just so we are set. We don't have to worry if something happens to either Joan or me. We'd be set with all, and Carroll Lutheran Village is one that does have the independent, the assisted living, the nursing, and the memory care. So, all your needs can be met in this facility.
Age in place as you go. Tell me, what do you enjoy most about living here at Carroll Lutheran Village?
What do we enjoy most? Well, we get involved in a lot of things here, but I think one of the things I enjoy most, the people we've met. And I think anytime you've talked with people at different stages of being here or people we meet, they all talk about the quality of the people and the care, how they all are such caring people. So I think everyone here is, if you really think about it, that's what they come up with. Everything else is important too, but if you don't feel like you have a connection or respect or even admiration for a lot of what each person brings, and we're just really full of that here.
Yes.
In addition to the people and the staff being, very pleasant and supportive, regardless of whether or not they're in the dining venues or wellness or maintenance, whatever, they're always very friendly and supportive. For me, some of the freedom of having to take care of the house, the maintenance, the yard work. Since I go away, for 3 to 4 weeks a year rebuilding homes, I don't have to worry about getting the grass cut before I leave or leaving it for her to do. Or, if the furnace or the heater or hot water heater, whatever, breaks down, I don't have to worry about that. She can just pick up the phone and call maintenance. But the other thing is all the activities, the gym and facilities, the pool, all the classes, the educational classes, exercise classes, the trips to a local as well as, museums in D.C. or Pennsylvania somewhere, Falling Waters, Longwood Gardens, ball games at the Orioles Park, all of those things are available here.
Now, I know obviously you're both very active, and I've been told you're kind of well known for pickleball. So tell us a little bit about the pickleball.
Well, I think we're well known just because we show up. We get the participation award.
There you go.
and our driveway leads down to the pickleball court, so we're very close.
You live in one of the, considered a cottage, or is it a?
Yeah, it's a duplex at the far end.
So you're pretty close to the pickleball courts, which is convenient.
Yes. So you see it all the time. You're reminded, I should be out there.
There you go. But yeah, have you seen I know pickleball has picked up in the last couple of years with interest and stuff. So have you seen that here as you've been here, more people getting interested in playing?
There's more and more people. There's probably about a dozen people on our list of people to notify if we're going to go out and play.
But we were lucky when we came. They had just, resurfaced the court and repainted it. So you have 2 pickleball courts, in addition to the tennis court also being there. The former executive director offered free classes soon after we had arrived. So this was really convenient to get that basis, that foundation of the game, because none of us played. And probably 5 of us residents decided to take classes at Carroll Community College because they have it at the beginning level and level 2 and level 3. So we took advantage of those classes so we could be better. So George came back like a year later and said, well, you all have really improved.
You took it seriously.
So we kept at it, and it was fun, but it was really nice to get to know people through that. And now we're on MuniGuest, so people can see we have regular days, and it depends on the weather what we do.
Right.
But we also do some pickup games just by sending a text out to a number of people and see who shows up.
You just mentioned MuniGuest, so let's tell people a little bit about that if they're not, obviously, they're not in the community, not familiar with it, but that is it's
an application that you can get on your phone, and it has a whole variety of things. It's got all the activities going on, so you can see what activities, when, and where. It's got all of your dining venues and what's being served for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's got a resident directory so you can look up anybody here. It's got staff directories. It's got videos posted to it.
It's basically a hub of information that you guys have at your fingertips on your phone, right?
Yes.
And then it's also, I believe, posted, they've got like TV screens, big computer screens that it's around the community as well, right?
Well, we use that app to sign up for things, such as the number of classes that we like to attend here, because they're so popular. There's a limit sometimes on what the room capacity is. So they're very popular, some of these activities, and individuals that they have come in and provide musical programs and information classes. People from Carroll Community College, from McDaniel College.
So there's always something to do, and I think that's a great. When I learned about what that system is, it's so cool because it's literally at your fingertips on your phone. You can find out anything that's going on here on the campus, sign up for things, and take care of it all right there.
We check it every day just to figure out where we're going to eat.
There you go, which is an important decision to make.
That's right.
Yeah.
But any maintenance you require on the house, you just put in a work order and the maintenance will come out and take care of it. If you have issues with health care or need, PT or come to LabCorp to get your blood drawn here on campus, you can sign up for all those types of things. So it's very convenient.
And something else that we mentioned in an interview, of course, we were talking about people learning to keep up with their computer skills and technology skills. Right. So this is another way for people to kind of keep current. You've got to use your phone and do things, and it keeps people active and learning. Someone might teach you, obviously, how to use it on your phone, so you're learning
and they do offer classes to learn how to use MuniGuest.
You obviously play pickleball. Have you done anything? You mentioned the gym, so do you guys go to the gym or do any of the other fitness classes? I know there's a pool.
There's a saltwater pool where you can go and swim laps or take aquatic aerobics or other aquatic classes there. The gym is there. They've got treadmills. They've got life cycle machines. They've got a variety of weight machines for upper body, legs, etc. to do that. And I've taken advantage of that, particularly in the wintertime. I'm still an active cyclist. I'll cycle around the roads in the community. But in the wintertime, if it's snowing out or raining, I can go in and get on the life cycle and just pedal away to my heart's content. And as well as do some strength exercises. And I've taken advantage of some of the strength classes they've had here. We had dinner the other night with a couple who's been here for a few months who's done Tai Chi, and they've got a Tai Chi class coming up. And he was very excited about the Tai Chi class that he had previously taken, and he signed up for this one. So we've signed up for that, which is something new that we haven't done in the past.
Okay, so you have dinner with different people. So has the people that you've met with all your different activities, you've obviously met a variety of people, because I know you have dogs too. So you've met the dog people, and then you do the exercise, pickleball. So has that been really fun to meet different groups of people that you might not have normally met along the way?
Absolutely. There's, opportunities when you go to either eat or pick up your lunch or dinner to see people there and join them at the table. Mm-hmm. But they also have periodic special event type dinners, usually one a month. This year they're doing presidential state dinner.
And they've done other theme dinners with featuring other regions of the United States or even other countries. So we really appreciate the homework that they put into, bringing in unusual things that we don't usually have just for these special dinners. We invited our real estate agent to come and sit with us one time at one of the dinners, and he was just really impressed with, not only what all he was seeing there, but the quality of the food, but that they bring out all of the people who were involved in creating this dinner and serving this dinner. And he just thought it was the greatest thing he'd seen in a long time, and he gets around a lot.
Yeah.
We're always proud to bring people to events, because we know the food's going to be good. We know it's going to be a pleasant atmosphere. We're just proud of living here and sharing it with other people, let them see what's going on here.
And that's so special that you feel you can do that, invite people in and to share, to look at what you found and how happy you are.
And they draw a big crowd, so you get to see a lot of people. You may not be seated immediately with them, but you tend to mingle, before, after, and even during.
Right.
To say hello to different people and meet different people.
Now tell me a little bit, I know you have dogs, because I met you at the dog show last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us about your dogs and some of the things that you do.
I talk about Jeff having his mission and what he does. He goes and, people really appreciate that he does that. But I said, my mission is dogs, and I've always had dogs ever since I've been young. I've picked up animals on the side of the road and taken them to the vet. I've paid for those vet bills. That's what I do. So the two I have now, and I don't know why this would happen to me later in life, except that you need this experience, but I have two special needs dogs now. Mm-hmm. One is a purebred Samoyed who has extreme anxiety. So she can't settle in. She's very excitable, but she's very outgoing, very friendly. So when we walk and she sees someone in the distance, she stands there and starts ruing at them because she wants them to stop what they're doing.
Stop and say
hello. Come over to the street and see us and pet her. The other one I have, that's Coco, and she was in the dog show, so she got prettiest.
Yes, she did.
And she also got
People's
Choice Award. So she was a big winner that day. The other one couldn't go to it. That's my Chili dog. She's a mixed collie, maybe some German Shepherd in there too. But she has PTSD. She was found in the South and with puppies, and they bring a lot of dogs from the South into the North to find homes for them, just because there's so many. She had some real extreme fear of everything. Yeah. So I had behaviors. I worked with each dog had their own behaviorists. One could have prescription drugs, and the other one was a behaviorist who'd work with Michael Vick's dogs. And so she had a good background, and she was local. So she said that all the loving things I was doing for her weren't going to work. And what I had to do was don't look at her, don't touch her, don't surprise her in any way. Her food had to come out of my hand. It was true that those techniques worked, and we've come a long way. The problem was Jeff, because when he would come home, all of a
sudden there's somebody else there.
You want to pet your dog, you want to talk to your dog, you look at your dog. Well, he wasn't supposed to do that, so he was hard to train. But luckily he wasn't around too much.
Those men are hard to train. They are.
So we've come a long way. And it's funny, moving here, I never expected this. Chili was always in her crate. It was her safe place. If she'd come in from outside, she'd go in the crate. It was just just fear, just living in fear.
She wasn't restricted. The gate was always
right, like a little
open
room
for
she
her.
could just go to. Mm-hmm.
But I had a normal dog then, another Sammy Ed, and she was the model for how we act when the people go. We relax, we sleep, while the one dogs keep walking around. But then Chili would know that this is a safe place. So she learned a lot from that dog. They played every day. They were good together. Mm-hmm. That dog has since passed. So now I'm left with 2 special needs dogs. On day 1, when we moved, we used the crate to keep them confined during the move so we wouldn't lose them and people could come and go. After that, they would not use the crate. So they found other things. Coco likes walking and meeting all these people, and she's got so many friends and whatnot. And Chili found a job at the front door barking at everything that goes up the street.
Okay.
So, but she never needed that safe place anymore. And people who've been here in the time that met her early on, Coco is getting all this attention. Chili's holding back. She's not going up to people. She doesn't want them to touch her.
Right.
But over time, they can see the big difference that's come over her because they're out walking twice a day. Chili's the one who initiates going out, and she wants to go on these walks. So she has we may have 6-8 people now that she likes. allows them to pet her.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So they can see a difference. I mean, she comes up, she likes women better than men, so that may be her past. She just relates to people, like maybe a quick sniff and back off, and then she'll decide over time, is she going to come back up for a pet? But they can see the difference over this time. Just being in another environment, out walking every day, getting used to all these people. That said, she's still afraid. And when we walk down and there's a new truck or someone made a noise in their yard, she plants her feet and she won't go. So we figure out what we're going to do. We're going to take another route.
Right.
She's quite the personality, and they really like it here. So.
Well, it's relaxing, right? Everybody thinks it's relaxing and happy, so the dogs think the same thing, right?
They found the good life, what can I say?
Yeah, exactly. If someone you met was thinking about coming to Carroll Lutheran Village, what would you tell them?
Do your homework. And that's what we did. We when we first started working with our marketing agent, we just spent a lot of time, and I would say she invested a lot of time in us too, but she would bring us in to see some models that maybe we hadn't seen before. And you really need to go in there and be there. You can't just look at, the floor plan and say, oh, that's my place. You really have to feel it. And so we had a chance to get into some different units. So we knew exactly the kind of unit we wanted that would meet our needs. We also knew we wanted to be on the outskirts of the community and be away from all of the traffic, because then they'll bark at everybody at every occasion. So we wanted to be out there where it was quiet. So we knew what we wanted. That was important for us.
But for new people coming here, Carroll Lutheran Village offers many classes and seminars on financing, comparing financing here with your cost of living independently at your house, real estate, downsizing, showing, giving tours around to see the different types of apartments or houses, and then getting a marketing agent that can, invite you to the different, resident panels where you can speak with residents who are living here and pick their brain on what do I need to do, what should I consider type of thing, what's it like living here. So there's a variety of opportunities. One of the most important things is start downsizing.
Even though we didn't do that, we did not. We had a year note. Well, we thought we were on the 5 to 10 year plan. A year in, we commit, and we had done nothing. We sent 4 trucks to an auction house.
Yeah,
what?
All the things that accumulate. Yep.
Yeah, it runs in the family, I guess. But we didn't follow our own advice, so that's why. It leads to the next thing, which is do it while you're better able. Commit now while you're healthy and better able to enjoy all of this stuff. Get to know the people, get into the clubs and stuff, the things that you find that you can enjoy. We held off for like 6 months before we even wanted to get into stuff. Find out what's here, be a part of it, because if we'd done our 5 to 10 year plan, who knows? I mean, you're not physically able to do that.
Right.
I mean, I'm lucky for the volunteer work he does that he was able to do it. But even he was getting tired of this. We still had to sell our house when we first moved here. We were lucky it sold.
Yeah, that's what, when you mentioned when initially before we started recording, you said that you had a plan. You were going to do a 5 or 10 year plan, but that all changed because what you wanted became available. Are you glad that you did that? Because think of yourselves now, if you had waited the 5 or 10 years, you probably would have missed out on a lot of opportunities to do a lot of things.
One of the things that surprised me coming here, when you go around and you visit everything here, you don't get a feel for all the class offerings, all the different activities, the trips, things like that. And we've taken advantage of a lot of that stuff. And so, it's expanded our horizons and our education and, physical as well as mental and spiritual well-being, just being here. There's so much more time you can devote to things you want to do.
Right, exactly.
Instead of having to taking care of the yard and fixing things.
I think that's probably the best advice, because everyone that we've spoken to in this series has said, come when you're able to enjoy the activities and the classes and the clubs and all the activities and make the most of your time. Enjoy it. That's what you're here for, to make the most of your time and enjoy it and be happy. And that's what everybody does. Everyone I've met is very happy. So great.
And the other advantage is you are then set. You're given priority if you do need to move up to assisted living, health care, or memory care. You don't have to worry about, can I get on the list? If something critical comes up and you need to move in a hurry, there may not be an opening for you if that happens, and you may have to find something somewhere else which may not be as nice or have all the facilities and care that you can find here.
I think one thing that is definitely everyone has always mentioned in these interviews is that continuum of care. It's that comfort of knowing that if, God forbid, something happens, you're here and you can just continue to age in place as much as possible, and not have to move and go to different facilities and things like that. So I think that's a big comfort. You obviously agree with that as well.
Right.
I'd like to mention too, just having a sense of safety and security here. With the dogs, I'm walking seasonally. I'm walking sometimes very early in the morning before daylight. Sometimes in the summer months, I'm walking at night, and I always feel safe. Because the safety van is riding around, and I know they're there, and I carry my phone, and other people are encouraged to wear their fob. Either way, I just always feel like I'm in a safe place.
Right.
So I feel I can get out and do that. I really couldn't do that before wherever I lived before.
Right.
And if anything happened to him, I couldn't have managed those places. It would have been a lot. So now we get to do what we want, and everything is in place for us.
Right.
But it's in a safe place. And it's in a beautiful setting. This place in the springtime is just
gorgeous,
amazing. I mean, we came just after spring, so our first spring a year later, it was just such a pretty place to walk around through there. But it's, like I say, it's a safe place to live, and that's important to me.
That's very important. So that's another great thing. So, all right. Well, thank you for sharing. Are there any other last thoughts you want to add about your experience here at Carroll Lutheran Village? Sounds like you're very happy.
I think we've touched on most things. Thank you.
All right. So if anyone else is interested in finding out more about Carroll Lutheran Village, you can certainly check the website at clvillage.org, or you can call 443-241-2949 and find out some more information. As Jeff mentioned, upcoming are some events. There's a real estate seminar coming up. If you want to find out more about that, certainly check their website so you can sign up for those. Start gathering information now if you're interested in finding out more about Carroll Lutheran Village. So again, if you want to call and find out more information, you can call 443-241-2949 or the website clvillage.org.